And welcome everybody, another episode, Past the Remote, the TV show podcast here on CBC. I am of course Joe. Over there across the internet is Mitch, and you can find us both on Twitter. Me at Halftime Joe, him at Mitch692. Mostly just Twitter for Mitch. Me, you can find me anywhere pretty much with that. Mitch. What was the first thing Mitch told me? Branding. Is what he said.
Yep.
Branding is what he said. But yeah, so you can find us on that. You can of course find CBC on anything really: Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, SoundCloud page, anything really. Just Google Comic Book Cast. You'll be able to find all the locations where we are at, and just check out our content there, especially on Twitch or YouTube. So with that, I say let's just go into it, because you talked about it before the show that the last, I didn't even know the last time, but the last time was going to be something big. So let's see if we could get there. First topic of the day is going to be talking about Game of Thrones and kind of some of the details that came out of the script. So the Emmy posted the script for the final episode of season 7, and it holds a lot of details as to the dragon, the Viserion, or certain characters in it, and it was just pretty interesting. That's this is coming from Nerdist, and kind of the top things that came out of it. Well, I mean, what was the top thing for you?
Out of what?
Like just the script, like when you
I
read
haven't
the
read.
article.
I didn't read the script.
No, you don't have to read the script, but the article. The article holds like some of the top things that came out of it.
I mean, I read the Viserion.
Oh,
Or
and that's
haven't
the
had
only
a
part
chance
you
to read
really
that.
care
That's
about,
the only
huh?
bit I read. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was like to do with the just that. I didn't realize there was actually more to it, so that's my bad. But
No. There's something, the little stuff like that. So, there's little.
tell me like the top spots, we can go over it.
No, I
Like,
mean just based off what Nerdist has, something about a Dothraki humble brag. The devils as a threat. So maybe there's a little bit more focus on the Dothraki at one point in that episode. The other one is the script loses its mind when Jorah gets scorned. So the people who were writing the script weren't necessarily that happy that they got, like, somebody roasted Jorah essentially.
yeah.
Apparently there's some emphasis as to for Sophie Turner, and how let's see, so it says
That doesn't surprise me. They're kind of like putting her in to be
yeah.
a bigger position than what she
So it
has.
says right here, Sansa stands alone, staring across the snow-shrouded moors. She wears a hood to protect her from the wind and the snow, making her look like French Lieutenant's woman. Reference Sophie Turner, we just have to Google. Yeah, exactly. So
Mm.
there's probably more, like, a lot of this is going to be like little funny things, but the specific stuff with Viserion is the one that I think Mitch really wants to talk about the most, which is
I mean, I didn't know I didn't know what you wanted this topic
yeah.
to be.
So I mean,
Uh, so-
so with
It's the weird.
Viserion,
It's the weirdest part.
what do we think? So based on the script, it's not a white as like kind of one of the undead army. It's an actual White
White.
Walker dragon, because the script says that the Night King did to the Viserion the same thing that would do to the babies, which eventually is to basically make it a White Walker instead of just like part of the army. So that's interesting on its own, because that could still mean that it knows what it's doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's very contradictory.
How?
Well, they call it an ice dragon. It's
Yes,
confirmed to
yeah.
be an ice dragon,
Yes.
but they saying it breathes fire. Yet that fire didn't actually melt the ice because there was no water. Like nothing was melting,
Yeah.
as they pointed out in the article. So, like,
Yeah,
what exactly is going on?
It is a weird thing. We've been saying for a long time, it's an ice dragon, ice dragon. It's nice to hear that they say it's an ice dragon, but they also say, yeah, blue flames come out of its mouth, hitting the wall. It's like, ice dragon, blue flames, they don't necessarily go hand in hand.
No, no.
It,
Especially with the blue part of the flames, the hottest. So
yeah, so it is that weird thing, but to me, that just might be their, like, we're just, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it just is what it is. The part that means more to me is the part saying that it is a White Walker dragon as opposed to just a part of the undead army,
that
because
part's
I, who's to say that if in season 8 that it could have a mind of its own?
I mean, sure.
You never know. White Walkers do have a mind of its own, I would assume, and we never really saw what happened to the sons, right? To the little babies that get turned into White Walkers. We just assume that they eventually just grow up into older White Walkers.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing I'm wondering if they do the season 8, which I highly doubt it because there's going to be so little time to do anything. But the Night King does all this. Is it also in a way to protect the little White Walker babies? What if there's like little White Walker kids, and families?
I mean, sure. Might have to turn our audio levels up.
No, they're all the way up. They're
all the way up. Then we can't do anything, chat. I'm sorry.
No.
It might be your.
But yeah, it's just this is interesting. This is interesting to know.
I mean, it's a little conundrum. Like, what exactly is it? It's a White Walker, it's an ice dragon. It doesn't breathe ice.
This just makes me excited for Game of Thrones. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited for the last season, and hopefully it gets picked up for the prequel for a full season and more. I think right now it's just a pilot pickup, but hopefully it gets picked up for a full season and extra. But see, some more is apparently the fate of Tormund and Beric. I see a few wildling stragglers who didn't make it down in time fall hundreds of feet to their death. So I'm going to assume they probably made it because we just assumed that they still made it anyways, right?
Yeah. That's what I'd assume about. Who knows? We'll find out soon.
Let me see. Watching this. Yeah. So I did say, just other people died. Unnamed characters died as opposed to them. So that's good to know. A lot of things don't make it into the final episode, which is always wild. Littlefinger gets poetic, ending literally. Oh, so he does like an actual poem at the very end?
That would have been cool. But...
Yeah, I still think that the way they handled that was weird, but maybe that's just time limit, right?
Yeah. I mean, you've only got an hour.
Yeah, I'm so glad that this wasn't like a leaked script of the actual ending. Imagine.
Oh, is it supposed to be the season 8 or season 7?
Season 7.
Well, then, yeah, we've had season 7, haven't we?
No, but I'm so glad that the season 8 ending script wasn't.
Oh, yeah. Yet. I mean, it will.
I hope not. It's one of those things that I really hope not. But you can never be too sure with that. So, with that, we are just gonna go to the next piece of news because we might be doomed if we continue talking about Game of Thrones because of that checklist. But Doom Patrol cast Jovian Wade as Cyborg. Now, we are very opposite sides of this piece of news, and I feel like I am on the opposite side of most Twitter, or maybe just some Twitter.
Isn't that how we always are?
No, but this one especially.
Kind of the point?
This one especially seems like people are against more so than for. I don't know if you see it another way. Maybe you see it more people are for it.
I mean, the people that I've seen, like on Twitter and such, are more confused as to why. Especially, they're more confused about what Cyborg to DC. That's the question I've seen being brought up. Is he a Justice Leaguer? Because this is saying otherwise. Is he a Teen Titan? This is saying otherwise.
To me, this just shows that they like Cyborg, that they want to use Cyborg more, and that they have them both concurrently in a movie and in a TV show. I think that's
what is Cyborg?
Why can't he be two different things?
Well, he can't be a Teen Titan and a Justice League. That's kind of contradictory.
Why not?
Because it's contradicting itself.
But they're not in the same universe, so it's fine. I personally see it fine.
It's mixed messaging as to what it is. You don't get Batman on the Teen Titans. You never will.
Well, that's a little different because Batman was never on the Teen Titans.
That's
I'm trying to think.
Point. It's just weird.
To me, it shows that you can have two different interpretations of them.
You can.
I think that's awesome.
That's fine. That bit's fine. Yeah. But it's what exactly. Who is Cyborg at this point?
I think, especially in the comics, I feel like right now in the comics they've kind of pushed him aside for Martian Manhunter. But I'm glad that they're giving him a chance in Doom Patrol, and I'm gonna assume. No, listen. Everybody assumes it'd be Beast Boy because Beast Boy did have a relationship with the Doom Patrol from the comics.
I mean, he was on the Doom Patrol.
He
started there.
it wasn't necessarily a team thing. It was
No,
more
but
so just
he
based out of the
started on the
family.
Doom Patrol and then became a
To
Teen Titan.
to me, it seems like, and I hope this goes this way. I I'm just assuming, and everybody else can assume their own things too, that Beast Boy and Cyborg are friends or become friends, and this would be a way to connect them even more. Saying like maybe Beast Boy has to stay with the Titans, but Cyborg can stay with Beast Boy's other family, protect them when he can. Who knows? Like, I just think that this can showcase Beast Boys and Cyborg's relationship that we all kind of really know from the Titans TV show.
I mean, it's kind of a roundabout way of doing it.
Especially when you look at this kid who got cast, like he's super young compared to Ray Fisher.
Yeah, he is. He's tiny.
Yeah, and especially Ray Fisher, who really worked out and was like super ripped for it. And this guy is very. I mean, maybe he's maybe he's fit in a way, or he has muscles, but not compared to Ray Fisher, who had the big old bulges on his freaking arms. So it's just weird of how different the adaptations are, because you would think that they would be similar, but not. They're actually going for two different routes.
Yeah, but chat's asked this, but I was going to ask you anyway. Like, your whole thing of like showcasing the Cyborg Beast Boy relationship, why not just have them on the same team then?
See, I don't know. My guess would be they want to have a Teen Titan on the Doom Patrol. I don't know why.
Yeah, but Cyborg's not part of the Titans.
Yeah.
At the minute in this universe, so
yeah, maybe it's a way of like eventually getting them to the Titans for season 2 of Titans. I'm just guessing.
Maybe
at this point, anything could be right because nobody knows, right? I could say something, it could be right. You could say something, it could be right. I'm just hoping for the best in the sense. I'm trying to go through my DC kind of knowledge of how it could work out, of what I've seen in the comics. I'm pumped for this.
It just like my biggest thing. It just seems very gratuitous.
How so?
Well, because it's a change for literally no reason. Like,
But that's anything though, right? What do you mean? What kind of change? What kind of change?
It's not anything. It's like, well, why wasn't it Beast Boy? Beast Boy has a connection with the Doom Patrol.
Listen,
like why?
There could be a reason. Maybe it's in the show. I'm trying to think of one right now.
That's why I'm saying it seems gratuitous right now. I can't say it is completely because obviously I don't know, like as you like to point out. But at this moment in time, it's a very gratuitous change for me. I don't understand why. Like, sure, you don't have to stick to the source material. You can make changes, but it's I assume all these things are going to be connected because Doom Patrol's spinning out of Titans.
Well, let me read a little bit more into it. Let me see. Because I read it before, but I want to read it again to see if they said anything more in the article. They just kind of talks about Cyborg. He may be connected to every computer in the world, but he struggles to maintain the connections that make him human. Just desperate to gain acceptance from the asset world, Vic harnesses the curse of his cybernetic body, uses powers. I'm trying to see if they say anything about it.
Also, what's Cyborg gonna look like?
Curious too.
Because we've seen what Beast Boy and Starfire look like. So,
well, we've also seen how Cyborg looks like in the movies when you have a bigger budget, and they did more CG. Not necessarily a fan of that one. I hope.
Yeah, but like, are we gonna get like Smallville, like, Robot Man hoodie? Are we gonna get that again?
I doubt it. I think there's gonna be a more practical effect to it.
Or is it gonna be a case of like, I look human, and they're gonna get rid of that part of his character where he struggles? But
I mean, he could still struggle just when he looks human. If you read what was it? That fit. There is not a rebirth, but it was a DCU version. I know people don't like DCU all that much, but that quick arc, that first arc of the Cyborg one, where it had like this really nice literature writer on it. It was really good. I gotta say. But after that, I don't think they had a rebirth one really. So. Let me see. I'm trying to see. The group is called to action by the ultimate hero for the digital age, Cyborg. They find themselves on a mission that will take them to the weirdest and most unexpected corners of the DC universe. Robot Man and Cyborg are very similar characters, so it'd be interesting to see how the showrunners make. See,
I was like, it seems like they're replacing Robot Man.
Yeah, I mean maybe that seems the right thing. This I'm assuming this is just also a way to eventually lead the Doom Patrol back to Beast Boy or something like that, or maybe Cyborg decides, I don't know. Maybe Cyborg's a Justice League member in this universe, and he sees
that age. No.
Well, it's always hard to tell because what ages are you supposed to think that Cyborg is in the movies? Because I don't know. He looks like he could be 18 or 20.
No, he doesn't look 18 at all.
Really?
I mean, in the movies, he's what? Is he still in school or is he a professional?
Well, he was playing high school football in that flashback.
Was he?
It wasn't that long, right?
Was he actually playing high school football?
Wasn't that high school football that he played in the?
I don't know.
Because Ray Fraser just looks like 30, so it's hard to make him look 18.
I mean, like the kid they got was how do you pronounce his name? Jovian.
Yeah,
Jovian Wade. Like
he's young. He can play young.
He's in his 20s, isn't he?
Yeah, but he looks like he can play young though.
I mean, yeah, he
can play a 17 or 16 year old.
He looks at least like 15.
Yeah. He can play a high schooler. You know, one of the things I always wondered, and you know, this was back then when if you would have everything be a cinematic universe, was that if you had Cyborg, kind of the first season was just a show about him and his being in high school and stuff like that. It'd be like this coming of age story, and then at the end of season 1, he gets hit and has to become Cyborg. I just don't know. I wondered what would happen if they did that. Like, what if they just switched it up like that? Listen, you're right in the sense that as of this moment, there's really no reason to have Cyborg on the Doom Patrol. But I'm personally pumped because we might get a different adaptation than we did in the movie. And
I mean, I assume we would.
Yeah.
But,
I'm pretty sure it's college football. Maybe. It may be college football. And if you're playing college ball, you're either 18 or 22. So.
But who's he going to fuck? That's the question.
I don't get it.
Well, Robin fucks Batman. Who's Cyborg?
Oh, no, come on.
I had to do it. You know
So yeah, I'm pumped. I think they're gonna explore his character more than they were able to in the movies, because in a Justice League movie you don't have that much time. In a TV show with Doom Patrol, you're probably gonna have a lot of time, especially if he's the leader.
I assume you heard that they had his entire thing cut.
Yeah, I mean, I saw certain aspects, like the little deleted scenes, and that the CG wasn't really perfect. It was kind of just base CG.
I mean, there's more than that. Like, he was supposed to have a massive arc.
Oh, okay. I mean, you always heard rumors about that, but didn't know that was actually came out to be true.
Because his dad was supposed to die as well, and that's one thing Whedon changed.
I would have liked to see Cyborg do a lot more, and I remember everybody was super bummed that the deleted scenes didn't make it into it, because they were really cool. But yeah, I don't want to go too much into that, other than just that I'm excited to see the different adaptation, and maybe it is a more Titan-centric, because they say he is a charming, sarcastic, half-human, half-machine superhero. So maybe...
My question is, does this mean if he's on Doom Patrol, does this mean he's actually in Titans? Because the Doom Patrol have an episode. Maybe
he's there, or you know, it could be one of those things where Doom Patrol shows up, Robin or Dick Grayson says, like, I know a guy, and maybe he already knew a Cyborg, you know, and he kind of leads them to Cyborg.
I mean, yeah.
It could be one of those things. Maybe they met Cyborg already, and towards the end of season 1, maybe Cyborg shows up. It's like, yeah, I'll handle the Doom Patrol. Honestly, I don't know, but it's not that long. Not that long until we get Titans to see the whole full season. I still don't know when exactly.
No. Also, just before we move on, chat, just because he was only just announced doesn't mean he was only just cast. There is a difference between those two things.
Exactly. Going on now, so we could detail some of the next season of Cloak and Dagger. Runaways Cloak and Dagger season 2 details. You know more about this than me.
You said to me to write it down. Sorry, I was like still looking at chat just quickly. Let's start off with Runaways. Let's open this up. But yeah, they've just gone into it a little bit. They said there's going to be more connections to the MCU at large. That will come towards the end of the season. It's going to be more dealing with like them living together on the run. I assume they're going to get this little cave thing that they had in the comics. It's just, like where the first was kind of that murder mystery thing and trying to figure out what was going on. Like, this is going to be more. Oh, what did they say? It's going to be more like them like having to deal living together and like actually living on the streets and like out in the big
But it's
wide.
also them now knowing who their parents are, and they have to grow up quick because like
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I like that aspect too. I'm telling you, season 2 right now is gonna be so much better. Season 1 felt slow in retrospect, and
I mean, it was very slow at the
yeah,
time, especially when you watch Cloak and Dagger. It's horrifically slow in hindsight with from that. But it was like,
yeah.
it kind of it couldn't have rushed through a lot of that stuff. It had a lot of stuff to do. So
And then for Cloak and Dagger, what is this one? Hoodie will stick around for a while. We'll be exploring new iterations of the cloak as well as evolving Tandy's costume
yeah,
a little bit.
because I fun fact, I've actually watched season 1 of Cloak and Dagger again since it's finished.
Okay.
There's a lot of stuff in that kind of connects throughout the entire season, as you would have thought. I questioned when we did the finale talk why they get rid of his cloak. They say when he's making it, they do it every year.
Oh,
So
he's gonna make a new one. He's gonna make his own.
you can make another one. You can make a completely different one. They said that they're going to develop Tandy's costume, which is the interesting part.
But it's always my impulse to stay towards natural clothes you'd see in the real world. But the thing I love that the writers worked out was whatever the cloak is just a piece of cloth. Important thing about it is that the connection to his brother. That's why it takes him to different places and it does certain things. So yeah, I'm assuming whatever Tandy has, she might have a connection to it too, right?
I'm going to assume like where they made that connection with Tyrone and the hoodie, and it can be the cloak if he wants. It's just as long as it's to do with his brother.
Yeah.
I assume Tandy's going to do something with ballet, because that was huge for her character in the comics, and they haven't really explored the ballet side of it in this. You always wanted them to bring up the hoodie and the shoe. Well, season 2 could be about the shoe.
Yeah.
And like her rediscovering the ballet, and maybe that's how they learn to fight or something like that. And she gets the idea for a costume from that. I don't know. It's just a little idea. But...
Maybe. I think the easiest thing is that Tyrone is just kind of like he just throws on the cloak or the hoodie. For Daddy, she has to fully change.
I mean, not you can have it underneath something, can't you?
Oh, sure, that too. I assume so.
Especially if they like base it off ballet clothes or whatever. So you never know. But no, I just find it interesting because they always said Tandy would never have a costume, or which wouldn't have the comic costume, at least in season 1. I'm guessing now because of this, but it's nice that they're going to develop like her look and.
100%. I feel like if they just straight up take up a ballet like uniform, that's just you could see.
I mean, they're not ain't gonna like. It's not gonna probably be the exact thing.
I wouldn't put it past. I just think
she ain't gonna be running around in
tutus. Yeah.
But like she is like ballet's a huge part of her character. So like I imagine they're gonna have to learn how to fight. Why not use ballet and tie it in that way?
Yeah.
That's just my thinking of it. But no, season 2 I think is gonna be interesting, and it starts filming like this month.
Yeah, it comes out. It comes out pretty quick, actually.
It's spring 2019.
Yeah.
They said spring, like they originally said the winter 2019 for season 1, but it came out in the spring.
Yeah, and this one now it's spring 2019. I'm excited.
Yep.
It's good. All right then. We can move on to the next piece of news, which is gonna be talking about Ruby Rose cast as Batwoman, and apparently she's been ran off Twitter.
Surprisingly, by the LGBTQ plus
Isn't
XYZ.
she LGBT?
Right. Here's what I've learned. People say she's a lipstick lesbian.
What does that even mean?
She's gay for pay. She's not really gay. Or she's not gay. That's what I don't know how factually true that is, because I
see, that makes sense why people hate on her now. But I always thought she was, anyways.
I mean, she's come out and said, but it's this. I don't know. It's just weird. It's kind of like there's rankings of gay. Like someone can't just say they're gay and people can believe them. Like, what the hell? Like, why?
No, it's weird like that.
It's like they've cast a lesbian or bisexual, whatever she is. I'm not entirely sure.
She's just LGBT.
She's LGBT as an LGBT character. What's the problem? I mean, now. Some people are saying she's not Jewish. Fair enough. I can understand that one.
That one might be like, I don't know. I get it, but I don't know if that character's actually going to be Jewish in the show. I don't even think she's Jewish all around.
It's still kind of like like getting rid of that part. It's kind of like, well, I don't know if it's like getting rid of Matt Murdock's Catholicism, but you know, but at the same time, it's called acting. They're actors. They play people that aren't them. That's the entire point of acting. It's like you can't chase off people that they've cast that as apparently part of your community, and you're like, I just don't understand it. But then again, it's not my place to read.
Somebody made a really good tweet about this. You can dislike Ruby Rose for whatever reason, but we're not gonna say she is somehow isn't gay enough to play a lesbian character. 100%.
Yeah, like that's the problem. Yeah. Like why? Like, who are you to judge if someone's gay enough to play a gay?
100%. Plus, Twitter's not worth it, Ruby. Just keep on Instagram. Instagram's great. Instagram's the new wave.
Yeah, but I don't know what. Well,
Instagram.
I mean, the girl who plays Starfire gets a lot of shit on Instagram, so it's nowhere's really.
Okay, never mind. Nowhere on social media safe.
No, but it's like, can we stop chasing?
Or what was it? No, like, even with the girl who plays Starfire, like she's not the right shade of black. Apparently, it's like, what does that even mean?
Well, I mean, Starfire's fucking orange.
Yeah, it's like, what does that even mean? She's not the right shade of black. It's like
chat saying fans are turning into bullies. Fans have been bullies for years. Yeah. They always have been.
That's why you bully the bullies, guys. Don't do that. Oh, I mean, you can't do that, I guess, right?
But like, it's like, can we stop chasing people like off social media? Because eventually, no one's gonna want to take a role for these sort of things, and then you're gonna be mad that no one wants it because you chased them off.
Or it goes to what my theory has always been, and the regression of how we're just all gonna go back to no social media. I'm ready for that. And I'm ready.
We'll never go back. We can't live without it at this point.
I'm telling you, I've been saying this for the longest time now. Some people thought I was a crackpot that the world was going to end theorist, but it's coming true. It's coming true.
Yeah, chat. I heard about the whole Grant Gustin stuff. Like, yeah, it's kind of shitty to like go for the dude's neck, like quite literally.
Yeah.
My problem, is the suit doesn't do him any favors at all.
I thought the suit looked good in the poster and the other picture that they sent out, but of course some of that is like edited. But like I said, I don't even like leak stuff. But it was really messed up to go after kind of like to body shame him just based off his chin or the neck. It was like,
it's kind of like, it's like, go for the suit.
Yeah.
Like, saying it doesn't look great on him is like, listen, I think that's personally fine because it doesn't look great on him. It isn't.
It's not
suit.
Yeah. It's
him, but I'm not physically attacking what he looks like.
Listen, when the Flash first came out, I initially said that Grant Gustin is going to need to bulk up if he wants to be similar to the Flash. But then once it came out and you realize this is the Flash they were going for, you kind of go away from the maybe don't bulk up, stay how you are because based on like the lean aspect, it works.
But it's like when Andrew Garfield was Spider-Man. People were like, he's got a massive neck. It's like, who gives a shit what the size of his neck is? Calm down.
Yeah.
But
I think
just
eventually,
crazy,
like you just all that stuff. As long as they play the character you like, right? Yeah. But yeah, that's wild. But yeah, Ruby Rose, Batwoman. We didn't really talk about it like last week. I think this was
because it dropped literally afterwards.
Yeah. So they're gonna have.
It dropped during, actually.
It's gonna. She's gonna appear as Batwoman in the crossover. I'm currently trying to catch up right now. I started Arrow, but. She's also possibly gonna have her own show, right? Her own solo series.
She will. I'm certain they announced that series already.
Plus, I saw a tweet from Stephen Amell saying like, "Hey, Ruby, welcome" or whatever. I thought that was pretty cool. What else has Amell done?
So I don't think Ruby Rose is a great actress at all. I've only seen her in Orange Is the New Black for season 3 or 4, whatever she was in. She didn't leave a great impression on me. But like, I'm not gonna sit here and like completely shit on her, like or like who she is and what she chooses to do with her life.
Yeah.
But it's like, yes, she's an actor. Go for the ability she has, not who she is, what she does, and like
sure. Let's see what else is there. The Batwoman's coming. Kate Kane. Hopefully I'm assuming they're gonna reference Batman and everybody she's in Gotham, and I hope. Some parts of the Bat family. What if Tim Drake shows up? And
it'd be cool if they got other people in.
You know what would be great? The Rebirth Detective Comics, where it was about Batwoman's father, who is a military guy, like a commander or something like that, lieutenant, sergeant, whatever you want to call it. And he is
Lieutenant Surge.
he's making his own little army to defend a threat out there that he doesn't know is out there, and Batman would always say it's not out there. I would love to see but then no, that's just because imagine seeing the rebirth like Tim Drake dying, but in live action, that'd be wild. Oh
yeah, but you can't do that straight away
I
because
know.
who the fuck give a crap.
So in
three
seasons, if we have Tim Drake, because I would assume
give it 4 seasons.
I'd assume you're gonna see like some of the Bat family, right? It's like you can't get away from it.
You would have thought you'd have to, but you're never gonna see Batman on this.
No, sure, probably not. I mean, I never thought I'd see Superman. That happened.
No, but haven't they said that you'll never see Batman on it? Like Batman's like the one thing.
Let me see. You never see Batman on the CW. I'm gonna look that up. Just a lot of people with YouTube things of will we ever see Batman in the Arrowverse from 2 years ago?
I'm certain they will never see it. It's kind of like Harley Quinn. You're never really gonna see Harley Quinn.
But I'm still saying that was just that's how it was years ago. Maybe it's changed. I really hope, because I know they haven't shown Superman since last season, but I really hope Superman Tyler Hoechlin comes back. Maybe he's busy. Who knows? I really hope he comes back for the crossover. Let me see. What is he doing right now?
I have no idea.
He's not doing anything. Go to his IMDb. If he's not doing anything, he can come through.
There are no current plans to have Batman on the show.
Bigger, no, he completed that. Departures post production, so he should be free to come on Supergirl. 100%. I want him and Stephen Amell to meet up, and I think they have at one point, like in real life, and maybe Stephen Amell has like the most pull out of anybody. If he wants Superman on there, I'm sure he just has to ask, and they'll be like, all right, let's go see if Tyler's free.
See, why not swipe what Snyder wanted to do and have Carrie Kelly rub in? Have an
no
all
one really
female
likes her.
No one likes Tim Drake. Yet you're sitting here wanting Tim Drake on the show.
But people don't really like people. It seems like people don't like the Dark Knight Returns a lot anymore.
No, that's a lie.
Really? It feels like people are going off of it now. Mostly because Frank Miller's gone wild, but
Frank Miller's been wild since the fucking 80s.
True.
No.
I mean, they could do Carrie Kelly Robin if they want, and maybe you could do Orphan. Maybe you could do Clayface in there if you want. I mean, you can have the the Factory, right? Like you could.
Yeah.
I say take off Tinian's run. Anything you get from Tinian's run would be great.
I mean, it's Tinian.
So I would say maybe take off that. Let me see. Anything else? Let's see. I don't think they said anything else besides that.
You could get Stephanie Brown in there.
Yeah, you could get her. You could get anybody really. That's why I say maybe Tim Drake and then Stephanie Brown too. Spoiler: you have the question. I don't know, man. Because what was it? I think she hates Stephanie Brown hates Batwoman because.
Even more reason you have instant drama and tension, which the CW loves.
Why does she hate Batwoman again? I'm trying to think.
Let's bring that on then.
I think it's because she thinks Batwoman has her own intentions and is not really helping the team. So I think that was one way of it. And then so Stephanie Brown went on her own way, became the spoiler, and also she became the spoiler because she didn't agree with Batman's methods anymore.
She also wanted to ruin movies for people.
You remember, there's a lot of people who hate it when she in that Tinian run. I enjoyed it, but people hated that part of the Tinian run when Tinian made spoiler kind of almost be a little hypocritical in a way. But to me, it made sense. But I guess to some people,
I mean, I remember people complaining about something like that. I have no idea what went on because I didn't read it. So
Blue Beetle and Supergirl needs to happen. Why Blue Beetle and Supergirl? That's so random. He might be in the CW shows. They said they were casting somebody that was similar to Blue Beetle, to Ted Core Blue Beetle. So we should thank her too. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's it for Ruby Rose's Batwoman, right? I'm catching up currently on the shows. So, I think they made another Batman reference on Arrow, so I'm gonna see what happens with that. But yeah, going on to now the last piece of news because I didn't have a segue for that. Which you said is the biggest piece of news, or maybe controversial. Marvel TV to merge with Marvel Studios in 2019. Say what?
Right. We talked about it last year Jim Corey or Jim
I
Chory
can
stepped
remember
down.
that.
He's like an executive producer
Yeah.
of Marvel TV. Right. Well, this has been slated as a rumor. I've talked to a couple of people, and kind of backs it up slightly. Something is going on. They kind of want to get away from Perlmutter, like Ike Perlmutter.
Sure. Makes sense.
Then the reason why shows have been stagnant, like new shows, is because they're doing this and they're using the merger, or they're waiting for the merger to be finished. So we don't know. Like sometime next year, a lot of stuff might be happening with Marvel TV and like Marvel Studios.
But if Marvel TV goes under Marvel Studios, the only thing Marvel actually has is just going to be Marvel Comics, right? Or like whoever the main guy who runs
Well, I
Marvel
mean,
Entertainment.
they're all under one thing. It's all one thing. It's just separate divisions, really.
Yeah.
But like, it will go back to how it was
2015.
pre 2015. Yeah. Like Sif appearing on Agents of Shield,
Agent Carter.
Agent Carter. Yeah. All that kind of stuff. You'll see more. Hopefully, see more of that. There's people planning stuff. And you just gotta hope they're successful. And yes, this actually does tie into New Warriors.
Yeah, so it's still being stalled because of this.
Yeah. New Warriors is apparently, if anywhere, gonna be on Hulu. Because apparently it's got some colourful language in the pilot, and Disney ain't gonna want that in their family.
100% fine with me. I've been liking the way Hulu shows it, and then sucks as Hulu's only US, but they'll figure out a way.
I mean, they sell the rights off. They always do. But the reason it's not on Freeform is because Freeform don't want half-hour comedies anymore. And there's apparently they're interested in some other Marvel shows, but nothing's going to be announced because Jeff Loeb's kind of telling people to like not really talk about anything because this is all going down. And I think the ultimate thing is this would let people have the crossovers they want. You might get the movie actors in TV shows. Might. I ain't going to guarantee anything because I don't know if it's ever going to go down the way they want. All I know is that they're trying to get rid of Perlmutter or get out from underneath Perlmutter.
Yeah.
And the reason why like Jim Chory went or Corey was because he was like in his pocket, quote unquote.
I mean, I'm down for this. I think everybody's down for this. It's like this is something we've all low key wanted, so it can have a more unison thing of more maybe Agent Carter type TV shows where something based out of the movie becomes a TV show and yada yada yada. But we're gonna have to wait a year for that.
It's not quite a year. It could be early 2019.
Okay, not quite a year. Yeah.
If it's mid, then it's going to be a year. If it's early, it's not. But no, it's something to keep an eye on because it's not just a rumor. Something is happening.
Sure.
How it affects everything else, I don't know. What other shows people are working on, I don't know. But they're working on stuff. They're not going to announce it because they're waiting for the merger to go down. So it's something to definitely keep your eye on. It's interesting. Like, there's not really much to say about it.
Yeah.
But you could go on all day if you ask the right questions and talk to the right people. But there's something.
I guess if this does happen, what's the first TV show that comes to mind that you'd want, like based off something that happened out of the movies? What would
I want?
That happened out of the movies, yeah. I'm trying to think too.
I don't know.
That's a good question, right?
That is a good question.
That comes out of the movies.
It's a very loaded question as well. Something
that's we've had 20 movies. No, we're not gonna have a Luis show. That'd be cool though.
That would be cool. Have a Thunderbolt show.
Yeah, because
get Daniel Bruhl. I can't remember her name. I know there's Hannah in her name.
Don't they still have the what's his face?
Get Blumsky.
Abominable,
Abomination.
Abomination.
Yeah, get him back. You got Zemo, Ghost, and Abomination.
I'm trying to think. What are some other stuff that happened? Because I assume you can't go too far down the rabbit hole with Cosmic. That'd be cool if you could, but I'm pretty sure.
I mean, you possibly could. You don't know. You really don't know. You could bring in Skrulls if you wanted to. Yeah. They probably will anyway, but no, there's something to think about. if the rumor's true that Spider-Woman is in Far From Home, give me a Spider-Woman show.
Awesome. I
Connect
didn't even know that was a rumor.
Yeah, connect. Put it in with Jessica Jones. So you got that little connection there.
See,
But
I'm low-key just stinky now. But nah.
it depends what they want to do
Yeah.
in Phase 4. Like, you can spin anything out of that.
Yeah.
Now, how do you want to handle mutants in the Fantastic Four? No, I don't know.
True.
You could have like an actually good X-Men show. Like, get rid of the fucking Gifted and give me something else. Like an actual Xavier School show. I'd watch that.
100%. Yeah, is there anything more about this that you want to mention? I don't know so much about this.
I'm not sure if there's anything else in the article.
Don't think so.
No. It's like... There is one more thing about New Worlds. There is a possibility it could be reworked. It might go to ABC. If they rework it, it could end up on the Disney Direct service. That's yet to be seen. But like the reason why we haven't seen or heard anything is all because of this.
Yeah. See. And now, if you're done with that, we can finally go into the last section of the show, which is going to be the shows of the week, which really is a show of the week. Because we finished Cloak and Dagger, and there's only one show currently on air, and we're not really watching anything else, though I would like to talk about Preacher. I'm not currently caught up, so I'm not going to go ahead and talk about Ballers anymore, even though...
But just quickly, fun fact about Cloak and Dagger. We were talking about, can people see these things, and why does Tyrone...
Did they finally say it?
No. I've clocked... If you actually watch Tyrone when he's jumping and he's being shot at by Connors, if you think, like, if you had like a smoke screen in front of you, like an actual smoke, and you push your hand through it, you're not going to see anything. Like, all the smoke's going to go forward, and that's how they play it off. So if you think like he's jumping through smoke,
so you think okay? I mean, I don't know. I still think they can't see it, but
it's just the way they react to it a lot. People can. No, when Tandy goes for what's his face at the head of Roxxon, he clearly knows there's a knife or something there.
Oh yeah, there at the when she has him tied up. Yeah.
I mean, just before.
Not even though I don't think the one before, the one where he has his back to her. I don't think that one.
No, where she literally jumps him in the Roxxon building.
Yeah. Oh, well, that too. Yeah.
And he puts the dagger to his his throat. He clearly knows it's there.
We'll see. I think certain times they can see it, but sometimes maybe they can't. Who knows? All right. Show of the week. It is going to be My Hero Academia, season 3, episode 17.
18.
Oh, 18. My bad. Appreciate that. You could have changed it, but okay.
Didn't I change it on the notes?
No.
I mean, it's on the layout anyway. You don't know.
No. Why I look at the notes because the layout's super small when you look at it. On my screen, so I can't even read whatever's on the layout right now. My Hero Academia season 3 episode 18. So, what'd you think about it? I really enjoyed it.
It was a cool episode.
I think this has been going on the same thing of like the episodes are kind of halved in a way, where the first half is about something, the second half is about something else. But the whole episode, the whole thematic of it is kind of the ending of last episode, where Eraserhead basically says there's these two kids, not the best, not the brightest, but they somehow inspire everybody else. And this episode was about how everybody else gets inspired by them, basically.
Yep.
Especially, they give a little backstory to Nasal Laser guy. Nasal Laser, I forget his name.
Is it a backstory?
I mean, not backstory, but a little motivation of why.
They like flesh him out a little bit more.
A little bit. And I was like, I appreciate that. This is a character that you really could have just thrown out and have him sacrifice himself with no motivation or whatever.
Also, there's Bakugo slander currently in our chat.
No.
People will get timed out. I warn you now. I do not stand for that.
You know what? It seems like he's grown up a little bit, Bakugo, and all this.
He has. You can tell by the end of the episode, he's not. Like, he's thinking slightly differently.
Yeah, especially when he throws that shade at Midoriya. It's like...
oh, you've made it your own now.
Because he now a little bit respects Midoriya on his own. He's like, oh, you made it.
I mean, he's always kind of.
No, yeah, but it's always that kind of thing that he won't... inside, he respects him. Yeah, it's one of those things where he will never show. He always wants, because it seems like Midoriya is always ahead of him for some reason, and he always is like, no, I'm better. I know I'm better, but I want to be as like he somehow is getting better than me, so I gotta catch up a little bit.
Well, have they already gone?
Let me see.
They have, haven't they? Where they've
What?
tested out their new limits and like where they're at.
No, I don't think so.
Haven't they? I'm certain they have. Where they tell
Uh,
Bakugo he's not like there's the learning curve. Like someone who's just started is obviously going to get better quicker, whereas the gains are going to be smaller. I'm certain they've already done that bit.
what?
You know,
Maybe that was in the training area, right, with the woods. Yeah.
Yeah, where they throw the tennis ball.
Yeah,
Remember that thing from season 1?
Chat's right. He acted different towards Midoriya. It is because he finally showed a little respect for it. He probably already did, but he just never showed it because he never saw Deku as his equal until I think when he started to realize that somehow All Might has their secret relationship with Midoriya.
Yeah, he knows there's something there. He knows like Deku's always going to be.
But he must know that
time.
if he looks up to All Might, right? If All Might chose Midoriya over Bakugo, there must be something to Midoriya.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, so this guy has something to him, so I gotta show up too.
Yeah. And he doesn't need to work with other people because not all the other pro heroes work with each other. So...
No, that's 100%. I mean, I think it was just
no. Look at All Might. All Might always does shit on his own. So
well, yeah, he's basically Superman usually does stuff by himself, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All heroes do stuff by themselves.
Yeah, because they want to prove that they're heroes on their own. They don't need other people's help. But I thought it was just great in that sense of the whole thematic thing of how they inspired everybody, of how the guy who didn't know how to shoot straight electricity now can and did it that way because he saw Bakugo. And the tape guy, Seru, I think? Seru?
Sero, yeah.
Sero, so him and Uravity and how they did what they did because they're based off what they saw in Midoriya, and it's just kind of everything just off of those two. I thought was great, and you just see it, right? It's something that happens in other shows, but you don't see it a lot as opposed to here. They showcase it more here. And I guess it's gonna go to prove that Todoroki's probably just gonna be the third best hero,
despite passing first.
So. Yeah, which is weird. They super put a big emphasis on the relationship between Bakugo and Midoriya this season. So much. Yeah. I did not see this coming, and it just really has me respect Bakugo a bit more in terms of I didn't like him. Thought he was a dickhead. Thought he was too impulsive.
He is. Like, that's just fact. He is, but that's why he's the best one.
He's cool. He's cool.
That's why he's the best one.
He doesn't seem like a dickhead too much anymore.
No,
he seems like a bad guy, and I just didn't feel it. And then towards this season, I was like, you know what? It's not he's a bad guy, but he's.
They could have quite easily taken the thing of, he's going to be a villain like every anime does. But it's like, no, he's not a villain.
It's one of those that he could have went that route, but still want to be a hero or have his own intentions. Yeah. But no, he still just has his own intentions and he still wants to be a hero. I definitely appreciate it. It's like,
it doesn't matter what your resolve is as long as you're doing it for the right thing.
I just love the aspect of he just does whatever he wants.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, and then I don't know. I guess the motivation for the naval laser guy was just that he felt weird because it would come out of his belly button. Was that it?
I think so.
Right. He's like, why am I different?
I kind of always tune out when he's around because it's just like I don't like you as a character.
Maybe it also seemed like he didn't want to have a quirk, right? Maybe it seemed like he just wanted to be normal like everybody else.
Yeah, but in this day and age for them, normal is having a quirk.
No. But when there's a backstory, a little flashback of him with his mother, and he said like, "Mom, why am I different?" Like he was kind of crying, like he doesn't want to be different. He wants to be the same.
I don't remember that.
No, yeah, there was a little quick flashback, him kind of crying, saying, "Why is he different?" Because he wants to be similar to everybody else. Because people were making fun of him that he was different. And of course, later on, now if like you got a quirk now, it'd be super. Oh, like awesome, you got a quirk, like and. I don't know. There's something like that. Maybe he had to embrace it, right? He had to embrace being different.
I mean, sure, yeah.
Because he never really did, and maybe he was always scared of wanting to be different because he was never also that good. I'm just trying to think. I think Rich was here, and he said, yeah, there was a little thing, or maybe Rich was saying yes to somebody else.
Tristan's saying that there's a reason for it later.
For the naval guy?
I assume that's what he's talking about.
I mean, I'm sure. Like, the thing I love is that they're showing little motivations and backstories for everybody. Sometimes, I think that's just great. They don't Did they show it in the manga?
Couldn't tell you.
Okay.
Couldn't tell. I assume they did.
Yeah.
I assume they did. Couldn't tell you at this point. I've got where it's been like over a year. I've gotten to that point where I'm just starting to forget certain things.
Yeah.
I've probably forgot most of it. It's just when it comes up on here, I'm like, I remember that.
What was it? There was that one moment too. My favorite moment, because I'll ask you what's your favorite moment. Because my favorite moment had to be when when it was Midori, Gravity, and Sero, and they got the guy down. He's like, "Y'all the first years, right? Have mercy. Like I gotta pass my test." He's like, "So do we."
Yeah.
I was a little growing up for Midoriya because it seemed like before he might have given into that, and it's like, oh, I feel bad. But no, we have to too. I'm on a mission.
Yeah. And just remember, everyone, if you ever feel useless, remember Midoriya's costume has a hood.
What do you mean? Like just a hoodie?
He never uses the hood.
Yeah, he should. I think
absolutely useless.
I personally think he would look better if he had a hoodie and then the little face mask and nothing like to cover his eyes. Nothing. How does he look?
Like the way they show him with the hood down, and you just have the little smiley thing around his neck, he looks fine. It's still a kind of a shitty costume, but that's kind of the point.
I'm looking at it.
But
right
you
now.
know,
I don't remember. Shouldn't he wear the smiley thing or no?
See, I don't know what it's for. What exactly is that for?
He probably should wear it, right?
Yeah, it's just like
that just seems reasonable to wear it, and maybe it's so it looks cool into battle. Yeah, I don't like the ears on the hoodie.
It doesn't. Yeah, but the ears are supposed to be the All Might thing, isn't they? Yeah, and then obviously the thing around his neck's a smile, but it looks it's so dumb. You better get rid of that one day. Like just take the hood off.
Nah, I like a good hoodie look. But I just don't think with the ears it looks that great.
No, he's like a bunny. It looks ridiculous.
This would be smiling like all my let's see. Bakugo's is the one that looks like legit. Like he can. I feel like he should just start smoking or something.
No,
he looks like he probably should.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he does, but let's be honest.
Let's see. I'm looking for his 2018 costume. I think that
he's got he's got like new gloves, I think, and new boots.
The gloves are supposed to stabilize him, right? And the boots.
The gloves they take the strain off.
What does that even mean?
Well, you know, like how an exosuit works.
Oh, so you don't put 100% in?
Yeah, you can go all out a bit more, and it just takes the weight off your arms a little bit.
Okay.
Like you know, the shoes have got that little like kick knuckle at the end. It's not a knuckle, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, it just takes the little edge off it.
How does even Todoroki look? I forgot how he looks in his.
Todoroki's just got the little shoulder straps.
It just seems like he's dressed as the same as the school uniform.
Yeah, it's pretty much is. He's a minimalist.
I see. Yeah, right. Just looks like he's based on a school uniform. It's kind of funny.
I like that. Their school uniform looks better than Midoriya's entire suit.
No, I like Midoriya's suit. I don't know why he has the belt for. He's not Batman. What does he have in the belt?
I mean, why has he got the hood?
Is he have water in there? Is he have snacks?
Maybe.
He's gonna pull one out. Like that'd be funny.
But no, it's just another good episode.
Yeah. You know, the game's coming out soon for My Hero Academia. It's gonna be a typical Naruto version.
It's a typical anime fighting
game. The Naruto fighting game one, right? It's gonna be like that, basically. I wish they'd make like an actual story about it, like a God of War type of, like they actually take care of this. You know what I'm saying?
Like a God of War.
No, maybe not God of War, but
let's get real heavy with it. No.
I think PlayStation exclusive type where they get super, like Spider-Man PS4, they get super story heavy.
So you want barely any gameplay?
Yes, I want a lot of story.
Copious amounts of story.
New story, yes.
Really good looking graphics. All set in woods.
You know what was a good game? There's a Naruto PS4 game. PS2 game that was like an open world, and you go around, and ninjas would just be randomly there, and they'd start fighting. You could just jump in the fight, and you can shadow clone the multiple. That was
no idea.
That was a super cool game.
I bet Tristan knows.
It was a super cool Naruto PS2 game. I had it, and I really enjoyed it. And then they went away from that and started being open world, which was so dumb. I loved the open world aspect to it, but let's see.
But no. Did they all pass in this episode? They did.
Yeah, they did the whole thing where everybody passed at the last second. I liked that. It's kind of cheesy, but I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, you knew it was going to be that way. So,
There,
they have to be the last ones, and the last two has got to be the class rep.
yeah, the two. There's like 10 left, and then there's 9 of them there. I was like, who's the last one is gonna be? And it's just that random girl who could change it to people. Um,
Well, she was the third last to
yeah,
pass,
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
she?
But the funniest thing was just like 10, 9, 8, 7. Like they just counted down. That was
Also,
funny.
they did Mineta dirty. Like, where was he? We only just saw him for that like 2
Who?
frames. The Grape Crush kid, the little one.
Dude, you know what though?
Yeah.
100%. Some of their powers, I was wondering, man, some of their powers are whack. Like, how are you supposed to like actually be a hero with those? But when you think about the kid that has the great balls out of his head, you could actually just stick them on somebody they can't move.
Yeah, they've done that before.
Yeah.
That's how they passed the
Just looking at this one specifically,
last season.
I was like, wow, like, actually his could work out.
He literally did the same thing last season when he went up against.
But what kind of naval
Midnight.
laser guy, other than just kind of like he was just a beam for people to come
I
to
mean,
him?
it's a concussion thing, isn't it? That laser.
Oh yeah, I did that too, right? He did, yeah, and nobody could see. Yeah, that's what I thought too. I forgot about that for a second. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it was that.
I don't think it's just light.
It was a
But
concussion
then,
thing.
like the Invisible Girl, she's like, oh, here I can like bend light and shine it
No,
back.
hers was the concussion thing. That's what I was thinking about. Hers was she'd bend in light and was able to blind them in. Or I guess not concussed, I guess. But hers was the one.
Kind of a
hers the one I was thinking about because I was like, she's just invisible. Like that's not really that cool. But if she can actually bend light and make it reflect onto them and they can't see, that's wild. And she can.
So I can't remember. Because I know they've obviously like shown all their powers can do this stuff as well. And I can't remember what naval lasers was.
So with her, can she make a whole building like be invisible?
I mean, I maybe you don't know.
Maybe Ray, if her power's that strong enough, that'd be wild.
I can't see why not the way they use him, but
why would you think Ida would lose? Like, I guess it makes sense. He did say, "I would sacrifice myself for everybody in the class."
I was gonna say they kind of set him up to lose, but I don't think.
I was glad they didn't make him lose though.
Like you have to have everyone for the first time in a while passing.
Yeah, and then the next one, half of them were gonna pass. That's what happens. They're probably gonna do this whole thing now. You're gonna 1v1 each other to Naruto or something like that. You're gonna 3v3. You know what? I wouldn't put it past him. 3v3s. I wouldn't put it past it. 3v3s.
I can't remember, but maybe.
Or it's probably gonna be one of those things where they want to do the 1v1s, but there's too many people, so they have to do a tournament to figure out to get less people to go to the next one. It's gonna be one of the because 1v1s make sense. They're just gonna redo the sports festival again.
Yeah, and again because we have the 21st to the 12th is the Runaway season 2 and.
So I think that's pretty much gonna end it. So
yeah, that'll bring us to an end.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. You enjoyed it a lot. We both are excited to see what happens next. I don't know when the movie comes out for My Hero. Soon.
No idea.
Yeah, but hopefully we have another show soon to talk about. Iron Fist is probably the next one. Comes out September 7th. Same time as 2K and Spider-Man. So
yep.
Until next time, guys.
Toodles.